Doug Bettens was actually a councillor back before the concept was brought up. Doug was the driving force as a local councillor, and he came up with the concept of buying the old station master's residence for use as a community building. Doug became the first president of the community house. Very valuable asset to our community. He's also the chairman of our men's shed group, which has provided some services for the building as well, including building the roof over the patio downstairs, and also recently the construction of a pizza oven, a wood-fired pizza oven, and I must tell you that the pizzas that come out of that are absolutely fabulous. The pizza oven incorporates a piece of history from Pomona, and in that we have the oven door from the original Pomona bakery. The oven is shaped to match the outline of Mount Karura, which is the iconic mountain that people run up and down on during the King of the Mountain race at the end of July each year.
The history of the Station Master's house started around about 1910. It's quite an old building. It's over 100 years old. It would have been the major home for all the station masters that ran the old Pomona station here, and up until about 1993 it was used for that purposes. I recognise the fact that the old house would make a damn good community centre. So then the house sat here for 3 years or so, and then one day the mayor at the time, Mayor Playford, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Listen, Doug, we've got to do something with the old house up there. Are you prepared to do something with it?" So I thought a little bit about it, and we decided that what we'd have is a community house, because we wanted something where people could come and feel as though it's their home. We wanted it to be the heart of the town and where the ideas come from. So we sort of set about having a little committee. And ultimately, I managed to get a committee together, and we had about 8 or 9 people at the first meeting. And they all agreed that, in fact, what we should be doing is setting up this community house. And in 1996, we formed the Pomona District Community Centre. And from that point on, it just blossomed. But we were very keen to make sure that within the scope of the house, that there was one thing, had to be love within the house. So we had these values that we insisted that had to remain in the house, and my role was simply to inspire the members to their best ability. When we looked at the sustainability of the building, we decided that what we needed to do was enshrine all the things that we believed in, which was recycling, reusing, and all those principles. So we got on board a little team for ideas. Ultimately, we ended up with a set of plans. What we've done over the last 8 to 10 years is actually ran programs on sustainability and the environment and areas like that. So we had a good name, and that helped us along the way. So when we eventually rang the bell, as they say, to build the project, after we managed to get some funding, all of a sudden all these people came out of the woodwork and said, "Look, we'll help you out. We'll help you." So with all the design, all the design work was done for the planning, and that was all done gratis. We had electricians and plumbers, and everybody contributed towards the whole project without, at really realistic prices, some cases for nothing. It then allowed us to have a building that we could actually expand all our programs, which is our garden project, our men's shed, and all the others that sort of link up. And interesting enough, I always believe that it's a bit like bees around a honey pot. If you put the right energy out there, you attract the bees. And that's exactly what happened. And we've got an extremely good photographic club here that they do a lot of photographs for our newsletter. We've got a garden club that keep the place nice and tidy and provide food. We often do cooking lessons and that, and quite often the food and that comes from out of our gardens. So the whole thing all pulls together, and that's really the concept of what a community house is about. The reason why it ended up being the Lawson shed was the fact that Brian had done an enormous amount of work in preparing this whole project. But Brian has always been in the background, and Brian's one of these guys, he's a builder, and when you're the leader of an organisation, you need to recognise that there are people who can do jobs far better than yourself. And Brian is just one of those guys, and he loves these sort of things. And Brian took on the project as project manager. The committee was extremely happy about that, and because that allowed us to sort of get what we wanted. He knows what the committee wants, and Brian, so he worked day and night on this project. And then we had John Shooton, was another one of our members, which is what you really want in a good little team. And eventually they pulled it off, and I mean, it's an amazing building. The sustainable items that we chose were part of what we'd been building on over a period of 8 to 10 years. That was power consumption, water usage, and the recycling of goods, household goods. And that really drove the whole project along. The site that we had was we used to be an old cattle yard here where this site is, and so it's actually a recycled site as well, so it fitted the whole program. Because we did that, it attracted more people to the project. And because people come along and said, okay, look, we can put in things like solar lights, which was great because that'll reduce our light consumption. We were chewing up a lot of power in our other building, and we said, look, the only way actually forward is to have solar cells on the roof. So we said, right, this is the way to go. And not only that, it makes this whole organisation more sustainable. It's another bill that we don't get. And half the whole idea is it always be the mystery. We've always believed that you have to have a dream, and we all still try to achieve what we possibly can to realise this dream. And that's really what the community house is, and this building is one of our dreams.
Often when government infrastructure funding is announced, you don't have much time to apply for the grant. The secret is to dream big. Dream now and have your energy efficiency plans ready in advance. Start by dreaming together with your board, staff, local partners, and building experts. Encourage everyone to imagine what their ideal energy efficient centre looks like. First, plan your space around the functions of the centre and its current space. Think about the future needs of all building users, including the disabled. Identify all the energy efficient features you want and how they might be used. Investigate what others have achieved and how. Get experts to help you cost retrofitting versus building a new facility. You may need to involve council or the owners of your building. Partner up with design experts or sustainability students to help with your strategy. There may be a retired architect or designer in your community with real passion who can help. But remember, get that second opinion. Start fundraising now to spread the word and start to build the dream. Local council can help with contacts and leads. If you can't stretch to the cost of architectural plans, at least document your vision. Planning big excites people, and the benefits of energy efficient buildings are lower running costs, reduced environmental impact, a more enjoyable centre, and improved morale. Visit a Greenhouse Around the Corner website for more details.